Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another episode of Health is Wealth. I am your host, Shabnum Riaz. Well, today is a very special program. First of all, I'd like to say Eid Mubarak to all our viewers at home and everywhere around the world. Hope you have had a fantastic Ramazan. Hope you have had, it blessed and you've been able to take the full benefits of this wonderful, holy and spiritual month. Well, today, like I told you, it's a special program. We are going to talk about Eid celebrations, not just the typical Eid celebrations, but the run-up to Eid, Ramzan, what's it been all about, regarding our beauty aesthetics and regarding our nutrition as well. So for that, we're here at iPal, and we have got two wonderful guests with us, very pretty ladies, who I'm going to introduce. First of all, Khadija Lagari, who is a nutritionist and a hormone balance specialist. Thank you so much, Khadija, for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for letting me be a part of your show.
Looking forward to
Assalamu alaikum viewers, Eid Mubarak.
Looking forward to getting a lot of important information from you. And here we have one of our favorite guests as well. She's been on the show before. We've had wonderful feedback. Dr.Shehar Bano, who is a dermatologist and medical aesthetic practitioner. I said it right this time.
You said it right this time. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's our honestly pleasure that you guys are here with us today. And happy Eid Mubarak to all of you after such a struggle of Ramazan. And finally, we are seeing this day, so this is quite exciting for all of us to enjoy the day.
Absolutely, so, absolutely. So, if we talk about Ramzan and the sort of lifestyle for 1 month that everyone has, adapted to, and of course the eating habits changed, and then all of a sudden it's Eid and festivities. Everyone, wherever you go, everyone will cook for you. There'll be so many different delights to eat, starting with the Eid breakfast as well. How can we transition slowly out of that mode? And then what are the dangers of people sort of, becoming too happy with all the festivities and the food around?
I think it first has a lot to do with your mindset. You're coming out of a month where you feel slight deprivation, that you've been held back. For me, as important as food is, your circadian rhythm also takes a turn. You're not sleeping on the hours that you're used to sleeping. You're waking up, so your circadian rhythm is off balance anyways.
That is such an important point that people don't think about.
No, people don't think about that. And circadian rhythm has a direct connection with your digestion. Okay. So you're already in a transition, and then when you come out of it, you just sort of jump back into your, you're back into the same mode again.
Routine,
but you don't understand that you're coming out of a state of dehydration for some people, because your liquid intake drops, your circadian rhythm is off, your eating pattern is off. You're basically, our diets, our standard diets in Ramazan, are not generally ideal. There is
a lot of fried food.
Yes, there is a tilt towards fried foods, towards sweets, jalebis and ruafza and pakoras, and all those items are generally on your table. So your body is already trying to adjust to that transition, and you come out of it, and immediately, first there is the circadian rhythm is off, your food, your diet, everything, and then you jump into food right back in again. Now you see your digestion, your gut microbiome has gone through a change in that 1 month. So you can't just jump back into it. You've got to transition slowly. Some people will have, if there's food, their digestion will take a hit. So my suggestion is, like everything, you got to go into the middle lane. Moderately, you have to transition back. Work on hydrating your body back. Sleep rhythm comes back in, because they all are directly connected to digestion. And then you have to be careful about your food choices. I mean, obviously, if you overload any system, you're going to have problems.
Yeah, exactly.
So go back to your normal eating pattern, but take it slow and easy, and your body gives you clues. So follow that.
Listen to your body.
Listen to your body.
Yeah, listen to what it's trying to tell you.
And try and balance your food back up again. We lean a lot towards fatty foods, towards fried foods, towards sweet foods. So वो एक ही side पे हमारी एक macronutrient पे बहुत focus हो जाता है, where the others are suffering. So you have to try and balance back into it, and try and balance your diet again. So take your carbs, your proteins, your fats, try and balance them back in to build your system back up again.
I'll come back to you about the diets as well that
Yes.
are out there that seem to be very popular. I'm going to ask Dr. Shehar Bano, how has Ramzan been? What sort of patients have been coming in? What has their focus been on? And pre-Eid as well, what have you seen that has been more popular among people?
So Shabnum, as you know, we have been doing these programs, and you know, it's quite famous field. If you see, the aesthetics is the most demanding field. The beauty itself, like if you see the salons, if you see the aesthetic clinics, they are all like, you know, filled up with the people expecting, regarding our profession, I think I always tell the patients, you know, you have to be you have a discreet line. Do not consider coming to an aesthetic clinic like you are coming to the salon. Because in our procedures, yes, you will have a certain downtimes for any procedure. For preparing the skin, for giving them a glow, for giving them a brightening, whatever treatments they are expecting, they do have certain downtimes. So at least preparation of the skin begins 3 months before any functions. Like they are getting married, they are having the parties, they have functions.
That is so important.
It's not instant. Like you go to the salon, they just massage you, give you a little bit of, you know, shine on the skin of the creams, and then they fade away in 2 or 3 days time. But our procedures is absolutely different from those which are running in the salon.
You have to do your homework.
Absolutely.
You have to.
So we need to have at least 3 to 4 months time to prepare the skin. Yes, there are few procedures that can give an instant tightening, an instant shine, the brightening of the skin without giving the bad downtimes to the patient, which are very, very safe to go near Eid functions or any events, because after Eid there will be a season of weddings. So, you know, the people expect that something that doesn't have downtimes. Like, for example, we offer them the Hydrafacials. There's an exclusive treatment in which we do the dermal infusion of the active ingredients like anti-aging complexes, the brightening complexes. There are few multivitamins that we inject for the healthy skin to improve the immunity of a skin, that we can infuse with the help of the Mesojet without touching the patient's skin.
Okay, so that's not a hydrofacial, that's something else.
That's something different.
That's something
I'll be showing you a little bit of demonstration.
We're going
on the,
to be seeing,
that's really interesting, and that's the first ever equipment in Pakistan that we have introduced.
That you have got at your clinic here.
So that's a real Mesojet peel. We call it a Mesojet. So why it is called a Mesojet? Because with the high pressure, it penetrates the skin without touching your skin. It is equivalent to injecting almost 1,000 needles into the skin without even touching it, and without giving the downtime, the bruise or the pain to the patient. So that's the beauty of these procedures. Like the efficacy is beautiful, the results are instant, and there is no downtime. So these procedures are safe to go even near to your functions. And the lifting procedure, for example, there's too much of a ptosis of the skin, and somebody who do not go for any injectables and don't want to opt for the thread lift, yes, they can take the challenge of getting the radio frequency on top. So we introduced the device that is called the Morpheus, which is very famous among the world, Morpheus Forma RF, so that we do on the superficial skin. So that tightens up your gentle deep layers by giving you the instant lift. That instant lift is not long lasting, but for the functions which are like a short term, it does give you the transformation. So that's the beauty of these procedures.
That's very interesting.
That's interesting.
So the Hydrafacial has become really, really popular. Why people sometimes, I mean, I would think that the cost is about the same as having one of the regular facials that you have from the beauty salons, because they have various you know, facials as well. So if you're going to you know, choose, because there are so many choices, that I think the consumer is a bit confused. If you remember the last program that we did, again there you sorted out so many of the facts from the myths, and we were able to educate viewers. So a Hydrafacial versus the usual ordinary facial that we get done at salons, what's the main difference?
First of all, the cleanliness is something which is very important. Looking at the skin condition, because if you are going to the salon, the lady who does not have the underground knowledge of the skin tissue, so if you have the allergic skin, if you have a rosacea, if you have a history of the contact dermatitis, and they're applying the bleach creams on top, it will burn your skin. So first, this is something which is very, very important. Hygiene is of course one of the top list thing that I have to consider. Whenever you go to any place, it's very important. There are few, for example, there are few patients who have the condition that is acne. You know, with the massages, yes, the acne flares up.
Oh.
So most of the brides, you know, whenever they get these facials from the spas and salons and deals, they come back to us complaining of the acne on the skin.
Because that's included in their bridal package.
That's included in the bridal
Yeah.
package, and they are utilizing it. So that massage can aggravate the problem, that is acne. So one has to be very, very careful. And now the salons and the spas have introduced the Hydrafacials as well.
You see a lot of that
A
happening.
lot of it. So
Yeah.
it is becoming a business, unfortunately.
So can anybody do a Hydrafacial?
Again, that's something which is very important, because in Hydrafacial there are multiple serums. You have to customize according to the patient's indication. If you have a sensitive skin, you cannot use any serum like a salicylic acid, like lactic acid. You have to filter out those serums according to the condition of a skin. The patient is here for dryness, the serums will be different. For rosacea, it will be different. Irritated skin, of course, I avoid using any treatments for the irritated skin, but yes, there are few hydration serums like a hyaluronic acid serums that can penetrate deeper and give an instant hydration to the skin. So it does matter what serums you are using and what is the condition of a skin. Another thing, I'm repeating it again and again, the hygiene. Whenever you get the Hydrafacial, make sure that they are using the separate tip for your own skin. That's really important.
Just like when you're when you go to a dentist and you're very,
you're very keen in knowing about the hygiene. Because
same thing
so keep on observing wherever you are going, that how they are preparing your, treatment, using the separate tips. That's really important. So going to an authentic place, safe place will, it will be quite useful for you. So be careful.
So that's really, really important.
That's important.
Dr. Shehar Bano, she's saying that especially with brides who are going to have bridal, their bridals done and everything, the whole makeup and everything, for that you have to have good skin. And if you are going to have a facial, make sure it's not something, if you have acne, that will give you a flare-up. So that is very important. And another important thing she said is 3 months at least before you should be preparing for your skin. You can't expect to have amazing results. It's not magic. It's something you need to work on yourself. You need to invest on yourself. I think
that's
is
right,
what it really is. Okay,
right.
Khadija, coming back to you, and we would, you were telling us about our transitioning from Ramzan to, afterwards, especially when we have Eid as well. So there are so many diets out there. It seems that weight loss has become a very, very important subject. It may, the health reasons are there, but it seems to become an obsession sometimes. And so it seems that, while it's very important to be in control of your weight for health reasons, it seems to be becoming a bit of an obsession. How do you know where that line is? And also, are there any diets, if you can give us some information, that people should be wary about before they sort of like jump headfirst into it?
You're right. It's kind of I would call this obsession a pandemic now, that everybody seems to want to jump on that bandwagon and just lose weight, regardless of, looking deeper in it and how it's affecting your health. The first thing I will mention here is bio-individuality. We are all made differently. We all have a different biochemistry going inside us. One person's food is another one's poison. I may be able to digest something and get good effects from it, and she may not be able to do on the same food. So we are all created individually with a different gut microbiome. So if my friend is doing something, I'm going to not get the same results, and then I end up getting frustrated, and so you beat up your body even more. So what I try and explain to people is there is a reason why balance exists in life and why there is a variety in food also. Every nutrient has a role to play. You see, let me just briefly tell you about the 3 macronutrients, which are fat, carbohydrates, and proteins. And carbs somehow have become the bad guys. Keto will eradicate
the very bad guys.
The very bad guys. Because that's not how it is. That's our perception of it. We can't go crazy on carbs. Yes, they will damage you. You got to eat everything in a proportion, in a balance. They all have a role to play in your body. While protein is building and repairing, carbohydrates is your energy, and fats are your hormones. So you can't just cut one part of it out and then and then expect to thrive. So while these diets will give you short-term results, but I can guarantee you that they will not give you long-term results. There is some deficiency you will create along the way, which you may not see surface immediately, but it is going to come and catch up with you and your health. And recently we've been seeing a lot of health issues because I feel people are just experimenting without really having the background knowledge, or and sometimes they even get the symptoms. They will have low energy, they will have hair fall, they will have other symptoms, and it is showing an imbalance inside, but yet they'll persist because the numbers on the scale somehow seems to drop.
Yeah.
So you gotta figure out that is it your health or is it weight loss? And also weight loss and fat loss are two very different things.
Oh,
You
now
want to
that
lose
is
your fat.
important. Yeah.
Weight loss will lose lean muscle, will lose water, will lose everything. That's weight loss, which will be fast. Fat loss, like she said, in her 3-month, her quick facials are different, but the procedure to build up your skin from underneath requires time.
Yeah.
Fat loss is a very slow process. Weight loss can be accelerated, but you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose your lean muscle in the process. You don't want to lose your bone density in the process. You want to target fat loss. So you need patience, you need consistency, you need balance. I myself have been there, years ago when I didn't know so much about food, about what nutrition, balance. I've tried everything, and some people, and then you learn the hard way. So not everybody has this information, and then things pop up on your social media, and let's try this, let's try. So those fat diets are gaining popularity, but they're creating a lot of health issues along the way.
Okay, so before we started recording, you said something that I found very interesting, and you said that taking various foods or things as a source of vitamins, minerals, whatever, and thinking, if I eat this, it'll make my hair good, it'll make my eyesight better. And you said that no, you have to take everything together in complementing each other. Please tell our viewers about that.
Yes. You see, like I said, every food, every nutrient has a role to play in your body. And excess of something can deplete you in another area also. So while we think, okay, let me have biotin and that's going to fix all my skin and my hair issues, that has to go in combination to metabolize in your body. Till you are completely nourished from inside and your lifestyle also supports that, you will not see, again, may have a short-term benefit somewhere, but you will not see results. You have to be balanced inside to get your optimal results from the outside also. You see, everything has a function, has a role to play, and it has to be in harmony, like an orchestra.
Yeah.
One person cannot dominate.
Yeah.
It has to go in a flow, in a
everything
sequence.
has to complement each other.
Very nice.
Absolutely,
Right.
absolutely.
Okay, Shehar Bano, tell me, with inflation as it is at the moment, and many people are finding that they have to budget many things. If we had to budget, certain aspects of our beauty regime or our needs, how would you say a person could go around tackling that?
Well, that's a very interesting question. And looking at the current scenarios, even it becomes really very difficult for us to manage the budget of a patient. Because if you see the trend in the West, they start preventing their skin earlier. So that's like preserving what you have earlier than rather coming late to us. So in Pakistan, now the aesthetic trend is building up. And now when they are knowing about these treatments and the effects of having a youthful face and a skin, they start investing now. And they're coming to us very, very late.
By coming too late, what do you mean by that?
Which means that there's
The skin damage has been
the
done.
skin damage, the aging factor. There are two types of the aging factors. One is the chronological and the other is the biological age.
Okay.
So because of the stress, because of the diets, because of their routine, they are not sleeping properly at night. The cortisol levels are very high. They're basically damaging their body, their skin, their hair. They're damaging each and everything. So the early premature aging is the fact. Too much of aggressive losing of the weights through the aggressive diets is creating a lot of fat loss on the face. So you're basically depleting all the supportive tissue that is giving you a very youthful look. You must have seen a lot of people, those who have got the fat faces, they look still youthful. happy
Very true. Very,
as
very
compared to the
true.
people who are losing a lot of weight, and
Yeah,
they
they look
do
haggard.
look skinny,
Yeah.
but they started looking more aged as compared to the other people. So these are the different challenges when they have to come across to us, when we are planning their faces. If it is a skin, yes, it can be easily budget
Okay.
very well. Like a basic skin routine will be very helpful for them. If we put them on the simple vitamin C's, the retinoids at night and the morning sunblocks, good eating, healthy habits, good quality of life will definitely support their aging process and their good skin. But if there are deep down signs of the aging, too much of the damaged skin, then we have to plan something different for them. So that definitely need products,
Right.
which means fat loss can be replaced with only hyaluronic acids. Too much of the ptosis of the skin can only be treated with the threads. But if you fall in the category that is too much of the aging of the ptosis of the tissue, which in our clinical language is known as a Barrett's classification type 3, then of course you are not a non-surgical patient, you are a patient for the plastic surgery. So these are very high-end procedures.
Right.
So high-end procedures you cannot budget that much. But yes, the procedures for the skin, like a microneedling, that can come in the budget, which patients can easily come and get it done. Hydrafacials, the Mesojet, even these are simple things that come in the budget. But following the right track, right plan, good night regime, morning sunblocks, healthy lifestyle really works, Shabnum.
Yeah.
I've seen the miraculous changes. I mean, many melasma patients are coming to us.
Right.
Melasma, which is too much of the pigmentation of a skin.
Yeah.
I always write them some topical creams and address them the good quality of lifestyle. They are coming back to me, many of them,
Right.
with a good skin.
That
Without
is
jumping
so
into
important,
without
isn't
jumping
it?
into
Again.
too many of aggressive treatments.
Yeah.
So that's really important, and that's the responsibility of a consultant or a physician to tell them about these things. These are the real facts that really matters in our practice and in their lives.
That is so important. And taking care of ourselves.
That's
Okay, I want to come to this, and this question is for both of you. In our part of the world, you have a woman in the West and you have a woman here in the East, okay? Each one wants to look good. Each one wants to get the best treatment or products that are available. We all have the same desires. Why do women here, myself included, why do we put ourselves on a lower priority? Why do we say, okay, family, children, house, everything, and we'll be ignoring our own health? As you just very importantly said, look after yourself so that you are going to have less things to worry about. Yeah. But why don't we do that? Why is it just work, work, work? Make sure the house is okay, make sure the kids are okay, make sure everything is okay, and I'm not looking after myself. For all the women who don't look after themselves, what do you say? First Khadija, then Bano.
I think you have to prioritize yourself, and it has to be a mindset. Many, like they say, look after like they say, put the oxygen mask on yourself first and then worry about others. We follow the opposite.
Oh, yeah.
So a woman...
We'd be doing that to everyone in the family.
Great example.
And then put it
I
on
think it should
herself.
be the conclusion of this,
Yes, but
That's
and a woman, when
Yeah.
she is in, her optimal functioning optimally health-wise, and she's happy with herself, will be able to, and that's going to trickle down to the whole household, because primarily she's taking care of the kids and the house and everything. So I think she needs to put herself first.
Absolutely.
Do that mindset shift, put the oxygen mask on herself first, and then look after the others. Because when she is capable, and then the rest, it'll trickle down and have a positive effect on everybody around her. We just kind of take the back seat here. Women just take the back seat.
Is that because of, I don't know, society programming us this way?
That's how you grow up, being programmed, that
We
you're
have
taking
been
the back
groomed
seat.
up like that.
Yeah.
I think we have been groomed up like that.
We grow up with that mindset.
Yeah.
We see
Everybody eats, we'll eat
we
last,
are
never mind.
extremists, like we are extremists, we are very responsible, I must say. The ladies in our country, in our culture, they're very responsible.
Yeah.
They're taking responsibility of home, kids, husband, kitchen, household activities, whatever we are doing.
Everything.
I think we are very
Yeah,
responsible.
and
That's why many of us neglect ourselves. So we should keep ourselves on the priority. This
We
is
don't
something really important.
self-prioritize.
We're doing this at a cost to ourselves.
Absolutely.
And then,
Absolutely.
when it comes to something collapsing, then you realize that, okay, now this problem, this problem, this problem. At what age should you start? I mean, because I think when you're in your 30s or 35 plus,
20s.
then you realize things are going wrong. So you should start much earlier.
At 20s.
But tell us about skin care and everything.
Skincare
Because when we talk about anti-wrinkling and things like that, people usually think, I don't know, 30, 40. What do you say?
Everything has its own mechanism of actions, right?
Okay.
If we have to start the preventive treatments, like something antioxidant creams or the serums, we start at 20.
20.
20 is the age.
And at 20 you think, oh, I'm on top of the world, I've climbed a mountain.
That's a prime time when you start taking off yourself. Start taking care of yourself. That is like morning sunblocks with a good night regime, which is antioxidants. Vitamin A, E, C is the best regime for the young people with the daily cleansing, because even now the young girls in this era have started putting a lot of makeup. They have a lot of stress from the outside environment and from inside as well.
Right.
So at that age, in the previous era, it was completely different. But now if you see, there's a lot of challenges that they have to go through their skins. When you start seeing the signs of the aging, that are wrinkles, no cream is ever going to help. Only muscle relaxant will be the neuromodulators, which we know as Botox.
Botox, right.
Yeah. So there's a mechanism of action for everything. As I said before, that if there's a volume loss for those girls who are doing a lot of diets, excessive diets, they started seeing the early signs of aging. That is a volume loss in the faces. And this volume loss will start showing up their nasolabials and a sad faces, which is called the marionettes. So we have to give them the artificial support of the hyaluronic acid. Otherwise, unfortunately, it cannot be replaced. It can either be replaced with which we call the fillers or the fat injections. So be very careful with your lifestyle. Don't be too aggressive on your bodies, please. As she has been mentioning, there's a way. You have to take it little bit of in a chronological order to maintain your body's skin. It's not an overnight, solution for such things. So that's important message.
Very, very important, exactly. Okay, so when we talk about our diet in general, what we cook, what we eat, because we have a culture that is very fond of eating lots of spices, unfortunately lots of oil as well. If somebody wants to diet, you will usually see in our part of the world that they will be making a separate, completely different separate meal system, whereas everyone else will be eating the usual, aloo gosht with lots of tel on it, oil on it and things like that. How can we sort of bring them together and have something that's more healthier, where it won't be harder for somebody who's taking care of the cooking to be making two different meals and have one? What do you suggest?
My one thing, which I feel the most important thing we need to change is the oils, because our primary focus is on all the inflammatory oils. We think canola oils and seed oils are very healthy, whereas now the research has shown that they're omega-6, which is an inflammatory molecule going into your body, the omega-3s, which is the olive oil, and which are your walnuts and almonds. So that's why olive oil, if you can do one change, replace your oils.
Okay.
That would be my one.
Replace the oil.
Replace the
and
oils
replace it with what?
With the omega-3s, which are healthy oils, which is olive oil.
Okay.
So even olive oil has a category which doesn't disintegrate on high heat. So you can replace your oils, which is desi ghee, going back to the roots, using less of it, but using the pure
it's better
form.
to use
yes,
that.
it's not inflammatory.
Yeah. So important.
Omega-3 to omega-6 has tilted. 6 is inflammatory, 6 and 9, and our diets are maybe not even 4 to 1, like 20 to 1 ratio now. So that's why there is a lot. Everything you can trace now, you trace to inflammation.
Okay.
Yeah. So if one change you can make, I would say change your oil.
Okay, and that is such a simple
thing
thing that anybody can do.
Anybody
so
can do.
doable.
Go back to desi ghee, use a little bit of it, go to olive oil, and include those healthy fats.
Because
in your
if
diet.
you see, in Ramzan as well,
Yeah.
all those adverts that have been going on, they've all you can see is oil, oil, oil everywhere. We're frying samosa,
Sunflower
pakode,
oil,
and then
canola oil.
on the food.
Yeah.
So
and that's taking in so much of inflammation into your body.
yeah.
Forget the fats, the inflammation comes with it also.
Okay.
And it goes down to your cellular level, and that's what causes the state of, what is disease? Dis-ease. Your body goes into a state of there is no
very good.
ease, so that's when it kicks in.
okay.
And you can almost trace every ailment now to inflammation.
Okay.
So my one suggestion is, small suggestion, replace your oils.
What else causes inflammation? What should we?
Genetically modified foods now, to meet
Okay.
demand supply, we modify. So when we start stripping them of their nutrients, they start becoming inflammatory. So eat as close to nature as you can and eat seasonal foods.
Okay.
We are fortunate as a country to have
Yeah.
seasonal fruits, seasonal
Yeah.
vegetables.
Seasonal vegetables.
And they are your best friends. They are full of antioxidants. Like she said, antioxidants have a huge role to play. They're anti-inflammation, they detox your liver, they're for detoxification. So eat as close to nature as you can.
Excellent.
Choose your grains wisely, eat in whatever you have
The
in
eating
season.
is so easy. Healthy
Yeah.
eating is so easy. See.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's so
So,
easy.
so what's going on? Why do we have to tell people to eat healthy? Why aren't they doing it anyway?
You know the answer better than us. You have been publishing a lot of ads on the TV.
We moved away from the basics actually.
Yeah.
Quicker,
Yeah.
Trends in
Easier.
everything.
processed.
You know, before people used to eat healthy, wear simple,
Yeah.
live simple, the competition, see the way the shadis are going. Everybody's like in a race.
It's like everyone's
It's in
gone
a race.
berserk.
It's like
I mean, if you're
everyone's
given-
short on time somehow.
Short
So
on
we're trying to
time.
make
It's no
everything
more simple.
quicker.
The
and,
life is no more simple.
Yeah.
You
And-
go somewhere, you go at the dinners and the parties, and they're offering you, number of dishes, number of dishes to eat, and you don't know, like you forget about the taste even.
And I think these two words, satisfaction and content,
Content.
even though there's so much more, but the satisfaction and the content seems to be less in proportion to what's available.
That's a very
As you're saying, simple,
simple.
simplicity, it gives you so much satisfaction.
It's
it gives
peace.
you so
Honestly,
much
it's
peace and
peace.
contentment.
Just try it.
Yeah.
Everybody should try it.
Yeah, that's true. Children, okay. Let's talk about children. When we are talking about, especially sort of like preteens, you know, the role of social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got, as you said, girls are much more aware of beauty trends, makeup trends, different cosmetics. You know, it seems like the world's gone crazy sometimes when you go through social media, so much that's going on. What do you recommend to young girls who are just going to start using makeup, and how much is too much, and how should they look after their skin?
It sometimes worries me when I do consultation of these preteens girls and the kids, I must say. Because whenever I explore, and they always say, okay, I have a very thick eyebrow. For example, one of the patients, she said, I have a very thick eyebrow. I have been bullied in the school by the girl. I have got a lot of hair on the body. She was just 9.5, and she started crying in front of me that I have been bullied in the school.
Oh.
And there was another consultation in which the mother was, the daughter was sitting next to her, and she was telling, my daughter is not fair. She doesn't
that
have a fair
is
complexion.
the
One,
most
I think
painful
this is
one.
something really important. I respect all of
Yeah.
my patients. I respect all of the people who are listening to this program. Of course, the kids will come across a lot of other kids, those who have not been groomed properly, and they will bully your child. Please, be on their back. Make them feel confident in their own skin. Everyone has the right age to start these aesthetic procedures. No need to jump earlier. 9.5 years is not the age for these aesthetic treatments, neither for the makeup. You have all your life. You start at 12, 14, 15, okay. There's a way of doing things. If you want to groom up yourself with a little bit of makeup, with a little bit of, even the concealer, sunblocks, that will make you feel good. You will look beautiful, but there's no need to put too much of the makeups and to hide your natural beauty. Allah Ta'ala has made every one of you very distinctive, your features. But one thing is that please, for the parents especially, make sure that you are, upbringing your child in a way that you're giving them the confidence, feel better in your own features, in your own skin. In future, inshallah, when they will be growing up, 20s, 30s, yes, if they find out something that I need to address these issues and they're not feeling confident, they can. But earlier giving them, the lack of the confidence that you have been bullied in the skin, you have to do this for them, it's their problem. It's not your child problem.
True.
So,
Absolutely.
be there. be on their side. That's
That's
something
it.
really
Be
important.
vigilant,
Be
be
vigilant.
mindful as a parent.
vigilant.
Well, don't think about what's happening right now.
So
Think
it's
about the long
honestly
term.
speaking, for me, it's a psychological consultation that I do for my patients.
Wonderful.
And they are very, very happy. But still, if that thing is bothering, then it's my duty to address it. So I never say no to my
That's
patients.
wonderful. That's amazing. So it seems that less is more.
Less is
I think
more.
that is the thing you
Yes,
can take away
less
from
is
this.
more.
Okay, so you told us about the sorry, I forgot
The
the name.
Mesojet treatment,
The
yes,
Mesojet
yes.
treatment, and we want to go and
Absolutely.
see that, and we're going to have somebody talk us through
I
that
will,
as well.
Absolutely. I will give you a little demonstration on the patient, and I will
Okay.
show you the serums and how it works.
Okay,
So let's
great.
start.
Let's have a look at that then.
Absolutely.
Right, so we've had such a wonderful conversation, and Khadija, you have been amazing. The information you have given is so mind-blowing, as in it's there in front of us, but we haven't really thought about it. So thank you so much. A quick message for our viewers just before we say goodbye to you.
It was a pleasure being on your show. My one takeaway is just to slow down. Slow down. We're in an age of very fast, we're on the fast track basically. Everything is bombarded. So I would just say slow down. That's my only one message in all respects. Just slow down, take it easy, and when you slow down, your body will show you the results itself. Just
That's
listen to it and slow down.
I so agree with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Most welcome.
We
It was
hope
a pleasure.
to have you on the show in the future as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And okay, Shehar, you are going to tell us about the Mesojet. I think I said it right now.
Yeah,
Did I?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. The
You're going to
Mesojet
tell us
piece, yes.
about that and how it works and how,
I think that let's take us the demonstration on the patient.
Okay,
And I will be explaining you a little bit on there.
right.
So it will give you plenty of information, right?
Okay, let's go and
Let's
have a
do
look.
that. Thank you.
Wonderful. Right, so here we are, Shehar Bano, and this is the Mesojet, and wow, this looks like something out of a sci-fi sort of a movie thing.
Yeah.
Because I can see her doing that, and the pressure is so intense.
So intense, yes.
So what is this for?
So this device is the first time ever in Pakistan. That is called a Mesojet feed. It's one of the most famous devices. That's called the hydroporation device. Along with that, it has got the superficial radio frequency. There are multiple serums that we infuse with the pressure. So the pressure depth is almost 3 millimeter deep into the skin. The creams, the serums that you cannot, able to penetrate for at least months and even years, it can penetrate those serums in few fraction of minutes and seconds. So there are multiple serums which we use for the skin. So as I told you that we customize the patient according to their needs.
Okay.
So this is the serum for the sensitive skin.
Right.
This is the meso treatment for the glycolic acid, those who have a problem of the pigmentation or darkening of the skin.
Okay.
So we give this serum to such skins. Hyaluronic acid, where we see very, very dry and sensitive skins, to hydrate the skin. And the complex of other series like the whitening complex we have. And this is something really interesting, that is NTX-NAT.
Okay.
Those patients who keep on doing the Botox multiple times and they want their Botox to stay for a very, very long time. So this is the solution for them.
Okay.
So that's basically a nebulizer with the peptides.
Right.
And the anti-aging complexes that goes deep down into the muscles for the hydration.
Okay.
So other ones, of course, there are very basic ones like a vitamin C, the anti-aging one. So this is like an anti-stress.
An anti-stress, that sounds
So
good.
anti-stress is like those patients who have a lot of stress on the skin. There's too much of the tiredness of the muscles of the superficial skin dry type. So we address that skin with this serum. So there's a complex of the multivitamins that we can infuse, and the efficacy is equal to penetration of the 1,000 needles in one time. And if you see, this is not even touching your skin.
Yeah.
It's just the pressure.
Right.
So with the pressure, we are creating the hydroporation through these meso treatments, So that's why it's known as a Mesojet peel.
And that this is such good news for those people who don't like needles.
Who don't like needles, and you know, there's a contraindication for the needles as well. Those who have got the needle phobia, they see the needle and they get pain.
Yeah.
And there's a contraindication in the keloid patients. Those who develop the keloids after getting the needle prick. So this is an excellent indication for them because they cannot do any procedure. So that's a treatment of choice for them.
Okay.
And the beauty of this treatment is that many people who get the early morning swelling, edema on the face, so this improves the lymphatic drainage. So this is known as the lymphatic drainage system
So
as
the
well.
sort of puppy eyes and sort of that you might get, it would help with that.
So once this step will be completed, the infusion of the serum, we will do the skin tightening with the help of this probe that is called the radio frequency device. We have a radio frequency for the body, we have a radio frequency for the face as well, so there are two different radio frequencies.
Okay. So how often do you have to get this procedure done?
International criteria, the recommendation is at least 8 treatments every week. So that's
every week.
every week.
Okay.
But I always customize it according to the patient's skin.
Okay.
Whenever it's needed, you need to hydrate yourself, you need a glowing thing, then I do it. Otherwise, there's no hard and fast rule,
Okay. So these serums, these are, you will have a consultation with the patient and then decide which serums to use?
Absolutely.
That's what happens.
That's really important because I have been showing that something is different for the sensitive, for the anti-aging, for the hydration, the glowing, the whitening complexes, they are all different. So we have to make the selection of the serums according to the indication. And you see patient is quite comfortable. There's no pain.
Yeah.
So I think this is an excellent treatment of choice for those who have events in a day, in a 2 days time, and they want a lift and hydration. And the shine is amazing. I mean, you should try it too.
I definitely will. You sold me on this one because there are no needles. Don't like the needles. Okay, Shehar Bano, thank you so much. I know this has been a really, really busy day for you and taking time out to fit us in. Thank you so much for that. Before we go, last message for our viewers.
Honestly, thank you very much for promoting the real information to the patient because the skin is not an easy tissue. It's one of the longest and the most biggest tissues in your body, so it should be addressed properly in a proper clinics, in proper consultant's hand. So thank you very much. Good luck for the further programs, for delivering the right information to the people. Thank you, and hopefully we can give you further information in future programs.
That is fantastic, and it's our pleasure to have people like you who can guide everyone where there's just so many choices and making life easy for them.
Absolutely.
So thank you for that.
Thank you, PTV. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that's all we have time for this week. We'll see you again next week. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy. Bye bye.
Eid Mubarak.
Yeah, Eid Mubarak.